Woohoo, baby, what's going on, guys? It is an eclipse day back day. Let me tell you something. The sun isn't going to be what's eclipsing everything today. I'm going to do a lat spread atop the tallest tower. That's going to be the reason there's an eclipse everywhere. So, still don't look directly at it. Wouldn't recommend it. But what I will say is, you're welcome, I guess. What's happening, guys? So, we're back in action. We landed back in Florida, back in New York yesterday morning. Super early. Got like a 7 a.m. flight, got back at like 10 a.m. The lady at the airport hooked me up with an aisle seat. Because for whatever reason, when I booked the tickets, it wouldn't let me pick my seat. So I got there a little bit earlier. I'm like, is there any way you can, like, because they assign the seats. There's probably like 7 or 8 people, let's just say, that didn't have assigned seats. Like, is there any way you can just get me an aisle seat? Then she looks at me and goes, she's like, Sugar, I see why you need that aisle seat. So I'm like, thank you so much. So she hooked me up. And she was, let's just say a sweet older lady with a southern drawl. Like, oh, Sugar, I see why you need that aisle seat. I got you. But, they love me, man. They love me. So, hope you guys are doing well. Let's talk about the trip. Let's talk about how you can eat properly while you're away. And then we'll go on a back day. So, I brought about 5 pounds of steak with me. I brought about, all cooked. Brought 6 cups of pasta with me. And originally when I got in there, I'm a New Yorker. So, if I want to go to the grocery store at 11 p.m., I can do that. In Florida, and most likely, yes, in most other places, businesses close at a reasonable hour. So, I ended up getting there too late to go to, I was going to go to Publix. And get like egg whites and things that I wanted to. So the first night, fortunately, all of the guys were already there. And we made some burgers, hung out, had that. I ate my meal on the plane. I had a 10-ounce steak on the plane. Getting a couple dirty looks. They were just jealous they didn't have a steak with them. But, did that. So there's no excuse, man. You can always get your meals in, right? Well, the next day, I ended up Ubering to the gym. You saw my last video, I went to an LA Fitness out there. It was just the closest one. It was like 10 minutes away via Uber. 15 minutes away, something like that. So I Ubered to the gym super early in the morning. I worked out with one meal in me, which I hate doing, but it's just kind of how it had to be that weekend, which, not ideal, but you make the sacrifices you have to get it in, It's not like, well, I didn't get my 3 meals, so now I'm not going to work out, and I'll pout about it. It's like, no, man. Is it ideal? No. Is it better than one that didn't happen? Of course. Was it still a good workout? Fuck yeah, it was still a good workout. Absolutely. But Ubered to the gym. One meal in me, which was 2 protein bars, 2 protein bars, half a Gatorade, and there were a bunch of Nature Valley bars at the place, so I had like 2 of those too. Had some carbs. After that, I noticed a lot of the guys we were staying with didn't have any breakfast because we're a bunch of dudes and we didn't really think about it. But for me, all I think about is food. So I ended up picking up like, a couple of those 36 packs, like, the big packs of eggs and things like that. Because you gotta have food, right? You gotta freaking eat. You gotta eat big to get big. I don't care if you're at a party. It's time to eat. It's time for your meals, baby. So, picked up those, Ubered back. So I walked to the Publix from the gym, Ubered back, did all that, whatever. Big old beach day. Grabbed a couple drinks. There's one place I went for a drink. Where it was funny, so we were on the open beach, right? And I spent the whole time kind of making sure I wouldn't burn too much, since I really haven't gotten that first coat yet. And then we were just in Miami sun, just out of nowhere. So any opportunity I could take where, let's get out of the sun and do blank, I'm like, I'll go with you. I'll go with you. Let's do it. Went for a walk to go find a volleyball. There's a volleyball store. Ended up passing this little place where guys wanted to get a couple drinks. I'm like, fuck yeah, we'll get a drinks. So I got one drink. I got like a whiskey lemonade, something or other. And of course, I needed a meal, right? Got myself a shepherd's pie. So it's always funny going out with the boys with me because no matter what, they know I'll stick to my guns. I'll eat my meals. I'll do whatever I want. You know? It's always a funny time. After that, whatever, in the water for a while, back and forth. I was spending a lot of time in the water chasing a school of fish, trying to catch one. I did not succeed, but it was a lot of fun. I just kept like jumping into them and trying to grab them because there was like over 100 of them. These little bunkers, maybe like a foot long. But believe it or not, a fish is faster in the water than I am. So they prevailed that day. But let me tell you something. I prevailed over the fish yesterday because I got sushi. John won, fish won. Remember that. So after that day, later on, whatever, back and forth home, went to a nice dinner, you know, expensive place, whatever. Phenomenal food. Got myself a nice steak. And then bars and such, which really isn't my scene, but you know, you do the right thing and always do the right thing for your friends, man. That's what it's about. You know, is it going to uproot my entire life to go out and drinking one night? No. Did I go there and get absolutely blasted every night? Of course not. Of course not. That's not who I am. That's not what I do. That's going to really mess up all my goals. Then I have a couple drinks with the boys every day? Fuck yeah. Absolutely. You got to remember to live a little bit too. Live a little bit, enjoy yourself, and you know, we do this and we have this lifestyle, but we forget sometimes what it means to enjoy life. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy my training, I enjoy my meals, I enjoy every aspect of this. But getting out of the sedentary day-to-day mentality of it, you know, remember to have some fun once in a while. Different type of fun. And that never negates from what the fun we have every day is. You know, with what we do and what we love. But, you know, there's nothing better than hanging out with your boys. And hanging out with your boys with a fire pit and a couple beers. It doesn't get better than that in bullshit. You know what I mean? But whatever. Aside that, the next day was arm day. Killed an arm day, had a great workout. What did we do that day? Oh, that was a pool party. That was like a big rooftop pool party, whatever. Where once again, I did me. I had a couple drinks, whatever. And it was time to get the meal in. And they wouldn't let John bring his meals in. They wouldn't let John bring his bag in. They wouldn't let John bring his meals in. It was an issue. So I'm like, what am I going to do? So they had chicken tenders for sale. And I'm like, guess what has protein? Chicken tenders, right? Exactly. So I ordered a big plate of chicken tenders. And I want you to picture this. We're at a Miami Beach Club. Not a Miami rooftop bar. No. Miami rooftop pool party. All right? There's people that are relatively in shape all around. In the pools, getting drunk, whatever. And then there's me. Big old bodybuilder John. Where I found a nice place in the shade. I wasn't in the sun the whole time. I was in the shade most of the time. For like doing damage control because they burned a little bit the day prior. Sitting in the shade with my feet like just submerged in the water with a plate of chicken tenders right next to me. Man, if you expected anything else, anything less, shame on you. I bet John went AWOL this week. I bet he skipped all his meals and injected tequila into his veins. No. My friends, no. My feet were in the pool, chicken tenders on my right, I got my boys on my left, and that was a good day. So, rambling ran over. Let's talk about back day. Today's back day, right? Yeah, back day. One more thing. It intertwines with back day, though. If you saw the latest video I made about LA Fitness out there, dude, I am so excited to get back to where I train, back to my gym. That place was an absolute fucking mess. Oh my God. I was looking back at some of the pictures I took of it. I'm like, this is ridiculous. You know, I had to walk, all the dumbbells were nowhere where they're supposed to be. I'm talking there'll be like 65-pound dumbbells by the front door, just everywhere. It's not like people just didn't put them away. They like took them halfway across the gym, used them, and then left them halfway across the gym. And it was a big gym. You know what I mean? You weren't finding those dumbbells. You know, it's been a while since I've been in like a public gym like that. Whenever I travel, I do. But I've never seen one that bad. That was like, excuse me, that was a whole new level of bad. And the guy was like, so do you want to sign up? After the fact. I'm like, dude, I gotta be honest. This is the dirtiest, not dirtiest, but the messiest place I've ever been. I'm like, I'm from New York. You know, we have a lot of respect for our equipment, a lot of respect for the gyms, we have a lot of respect for the staff. I go, there's no ounce of respect for the gym or the equipment or anything here. If I tried to work out here every day, I would drive myself absolutely bananas. Just like Marco Polo with the dumbbells. It took me quite literally 5 minutes of wandering the gym to try to find a single like metal handle piece to put on the equipment. The people were fine, you know. It's not like the people were disrespectful toward anybody there. Everybody just kind of stuck to themselves and it was no biggie. But just the way they treated the equipment. And dude, if you ever did that in New York, you would be thrown out of that gym, out of a proper gym, so fast. You know, New Yorkers, we get this stigma, if you will, where we're aggressive, we're, I don't want to say belligerent, but self-centered, I guess. Self-centered, aggressive, whatever. But we're really not. What we are is, at least Long Island maybe, you gotta remember, Long Island is a lot of like Italian, a lot of Irish, you know, those are like the big, every, you know, nationality, whatever, on Long Island, but it's a lot of those too. Primarily Italian, at least around where I am. You know, you really don't have a lot of like Chinatowns and little Irelands and things like that. Just a lot of Italian, a lot of Irish, and that's the majority of it. Two cultures that are very centered around respect for the people you're with and respect for everybody around you. You know, when that police officer died, you know, it wouldn't matter what nationality he was. What mattered to us is that he was a Long Islander. You know, we stick to our guns with everything we do, everything we say. And to a laid-back person, we can come off as a little aggressive because we're just trying to get to the point. You know, you're walking too slow. Get the fuck out of my way. Or why are you doing 40 in the 40? What? Go 70. You know what I mean? There's nobody watching. Go 70. I'm trying to get somewhere. Slightly faster. But what I will say is, we always watch each other's backs. You know, Long Islanders have each other's backs. And we don't tolerate, or we very rarely tolerate, anybody doing things they shouldn't do. You know, got each other's backs, making sure these kids are okay. You would never not put your weights away, because you just know either A, I'm going to get in trouble, and it's not like, oh, you shouldn't do this. It's, why are you being a dick? You know what I mean? You're using the weights. Put them away, dude. Put them away. Who do you think you are? I'm ranting at this point. But long story short, for back day. Back day today, lat day. I mean, we could slam a pretty standard one. I'm super tight from the flights. I can take my pre-workout too. I'm super tight from the plane. So rack pulls I'm going to be careful with. I'm sure it'll be fine, but I'm just going to be aware of them. But other than that, man, we're going to smash it. We're going to kill it. And I'll see you tomorrow for a pec pop and chest day. Let's get it, baby.